Howdy folks, welcome back to Small Farm Guys. Today you can see we've got a tire here. This is for the Farmall 400. We're going to go ahead and replace it because it blew out on us last fall when we were done cutting hay. Perfect timing, right? Or raking hay actually. It blew out as we were bringing the tractor home, so it worked out good. And we have a lot of sidewall cracking, so I already started it before I figured we better get a video. But what we did is the one side, the bead broke while we were bringing it home, so the other side we just took the skid, put the forks on it, and pushed down to break the beads. So, and then I started prying it up. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna keep taking and prying this off one little piece at a time here, so we can get it down here. And it gets easier once you get it, you know, you can just one side at a time, just keep prying this out. And there you go, we got one half done. Now we got to get the other half out. So if we can, you just pull it out, get yourself a nice little gap in here, and you can just keep pushing. And there we go. We will be putting a tube in the new tire because they are tubeless tires. But first, this rim's a little rusty, so we're going to clean this up. But yeah, the tire looks good, but it ended up blowing out on us. We got all this weather cracking, so we're just going to go ahead and replace the tire. I will try to put a link for the tires in the description below. But yep, so we'll get back to you. We're going to clean this up. We'll probably end up painting the rim just to stop the rust if there is any rust, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get back to you when we're putting the tire on the rim and the tube. Alright guys, back to the second part of this video. We painted our rim black on the inside, cleaned it up with the wire wheel, got rid of any of the rust, made sure there were no rough spots for when we put the tube in there so it doesn't puncture the tube. So now we're going to go ahead and lay this down, take your tire and get it started at a little bit of an angle here. And then you can grab your pry bars and you can get it in on the side of the rim and just start working your way down. A little bit by little. Don't want to take too much. Just sneak it down over the rim and flex your tire. It works if you put a little bit of lube on there too, a little bit of tire lube for doing this. That'll help, but I don't have any right now, so we're gonna do it dry. Generally, it will work nicer if you have a second person, but when your second person is your camera operator, you get to do it by yourself. Not that the camera operator won't help, but then you guys won't get to see the lovely video. All right, so now we got got it over the first sidewall there. So now we're going to flip it over and figure out where we need to put our tube, which tube's got to be right here. So we're going to go ahead and lay our tube in here and then go ahead and put the other side on. All right, so got the tube here, got to cut it open, get the old trusty Leatherman out. So go ahead, take your tube out, and if you pay attention and you start with the right side when you're putting these on, you can not have to do everything upside down. But you got to find the hole in your rim, which I had it. It's right here. So when you go in, you want to put your valve stem in that hole first to make sure you got it lined up. So I like to slide my tube in. your valve stem through. Makes your life a little bit easier. And then you can take and make sure to be careful, you don't want to slice your rim or slice your inner tube, but get your inner tube down around your rim, sitting in there. And you don't want to pinch your inner tube, so you want to make sure you get it sitting down far enough that it'll allow you to work and pry on your tire to get it in. Then once you've got it in, go ahead, set it down, and just usually push a little side like that, and then just very carefully, little by little, try it, and do not hit your tube. Otherwise, you got to do this process again so you can patch your tube or replace it, depending on how bad you nick it. So I'm not going in very far. I'm maybe going in. When I'm sticking this in, I'm going in maybe half an inch just to make sure I don't. And you go real nice and slow. Take your time. There's nothing worse than doing the job twice because you rush. I always just put one over here. Otherwise, you can use a vice grip just so it doesn't slide back on you. And again, it'd probably be easier if you used some sort of tire lube, but since I don't have any right now, doing it dry. And these tires, they weren't terribly expensive. I think they were 60 some bucks. They're Carlisle. So now that we've got it on, now we can find our valve stem here. Pull that back out again. And now we need to fill it up with air to get it to mount the bead. Alright, so when you're filling this up, until you get it to where it doesn't push right in, you're going to want to hold on to this, because otherwise when you push on it, it'll just push right back in, and then you got to take the tire off. You can't fish it out. And it is sometimes easier just to stand them up or lean them up against yourself. Alright, now we're starting to get air, because I could see this gap start to close up. Lay it down, it'll be easier now. Alright. See, our gap is starting to close, so now you want to be careful because you don't want to. And you see how there's no gap there? She's pretty much beaded itself. So, just like to bounce them a few times to make sure that the bead's on. And check your tire pressure. We're at 11 pounds, so we can go. It says not to go over 35 when you put the bead on, but it says not to go over 52 once you got it mounted. So this is pretty well mounted. It closed up real nice, and that's what you want, nice flush. So we're going to go ahead and probably put 45 PSI in it. We'll get back at you when it's full.